Hi YouTubers, it's Smoky SE77 again for the first video like usual. This is part 17 of my series How to Smoke a Pipe. Okay, part 17. Now we're discussing something interesting yet again. Now, I know I say every part is interesting because every part is interesting. Every part is a new part, and we'll discuss this part right here. How often do you need to smoke? Now, in this part I want to discuss how often do you need to smoke. Now, there is no right or wrong answer to this. Now, some people smoke a pipe once a day. Some people smoke a pipe twice a day. Some people smoke a pipe 10 times a day. Now, it really depends on your own personal preference, your own personal taste, and all that kind of stuff. Now, some of the pros and cons of smoking more often are, the pros are you get to taste more tobacco, you get to, if you're trying to do tobacco, do pipe tobacco, you get to try it more often. The cons are it's not healthy, so the more often you smoke, the more you are increasing your health risks, so of oral problems, oral cancer, that kind of stuff. So it really depends on your own comfort level. So myself, I'll take myself for example. I smoke usually 3 times a day, sometimes 4, so I like to keep it to 3 times a day, occasionally 4. That's my own comfort level, because I like to keep it to the 1 to 3 times a day. In general, pipe smoking in moderation is 1 to 3 times a day. Now, some people smoke, once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Some people smoke 8, 10 times a day. It really depends on your own comfort level. Now, some people are very scared of pipe smoking, they're scared of tobacco use, and they're not comfortable smoking more than once a month, But it really depends on your own comfort level. Aside from health problems, some of the other cons are to smoking a lot of times, or very often is smoking too often, is your taste buds will probably lose flavor over time, or your taste buds will die over time, so you won't be able to taste tobacco as much. So if you're smoking a lot, like 10 times a day, you're going to taste less tobacco. So you're still going to be able to taste it, but you won't be able to taste it as distinctly as if you're smoking, once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. So that's another con, is your taste buds will lose flavor over time as you smoke constantly. So, and especially the first time you smoke a pipe, your first pipe you smoke with the tobacco in it, the pipe tobacco, you will get a really strong taste in the tobacco because your taste buds aren't damaged at all. So it really depends, it's your own personal comfort level, your own personal preference. But in general, pipe smoking is 1 to 3 times a day, 1, 2, 3 times a day. It also depends on just you in general. So that's all I really have to say is, in general, it's 1 to 3 times a day in moderation. But if you want to smoke more often, that's fine. If you want to smoke less often, that's fine. So some people smoke a pipe once a year, some people smoke a pipe 10 times a day. So also, the more often you smoke, the more likely you are to become addicted. So if you don't want to become addicted to nicotine, you're better off smoking less often, and obviously not inhaling. So it also depends on that. So if you don't want to become addicted, you don't want to have nicotine cravings, you don't want to have withdrawals, you're better off smoking less often. So anyway, give me your thoughts, comment, subscribe, personally if you want to, and peace out there and bye.